As Old as Time, Part 1. Endgame. Despite their walls and doctors and priests and incense and wealth, the king and queen took ill and died. Their son, by some twist of fate, was spared, as were all of the children in the castle. Some called it a miracle. A year passed. The fever ran itself out, though not before taking a staggering percentage of the townspeople with it. The time of mourning finally ended, and a coronation date was set. There would be a new king, and hopefully a new beginning for the beleaguered little kingdom. Meanwhile, in the village, Rosalind was trying to make a dress for Belle. Sewing was not one of her talents. Her fingers were covered with little ruby-red pinpricks of blood, and she had many unenchantress-like things as she went. But Belle's birthday was coming up, and, as happened occasionally, Rosalind felt a need to do some sort of normal, motherly thing for it. Maurice had suggested several times they have a dress tailored for their daughter instead. His automated thresher had won some money at a fair, and for once they had a coin to spare for little luxuries. But Rosalind stubbornly refused. And so she cursed and sewed in a lantern light, cleverly magnified by a system of mirrors and lenses, as a storm blew outside, and she wrestled with something that was plaguing her subconsciousness. Maurice caught her eyes, flickering to the window. Not to the storm, he knew, but to what lay east of them. "Why do you care about the coronation?" he finally said with a sigh. "Our life there is over. You told them you were never coming back." Rosalind bit her lip. "If there's any chance at all of saving the kingdom, of making it the way it used to be, it all rests with the prince." "He has a hard road ahead of him," Maurice said sympathetically. "And a few people left to help. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me a bit if he just gave it all up and went to university instead. German princes do that all the time." Rosalind threw down what she was working on. "I need to go see him, now, before he was made king." "Dear," Maurice began. "I need to make sure he's not like his parents," she said firmly. "If that land is to have any future, it needs a ruler who is kind and generous and forward-looking and energetic and kind." "You said kind already." "I have to go," she said, grabbing her green cloak. Maurice didn't even protest about the weather. Enchantresses had a way of dealing with those sort of things. "You've managed to go and escape twice already," he said. "Remember what Frederick said." "I'll go in disguise," she promised, giving him a quick kiss. Maurice grabbed her hands and pressed them into his heart. "Darling," she said with a patient smile, "I'll go and come back before Belle wakes up. She won't even know I was gone, and we'll all celebrate her birthday together." Then she hesitated over a pitcher of roses on the table, debating silently. Finally, she selected a glorious red blossom that surpassed perfection, but was merely average for that household. Her husband gave her a knowing look. "Magic always comes back on itself," she reminded her. "What? I knew that. Who said anything about magic?" she demanded. And then she disappeared. Because she didn't take the normal road, she never saw the black carriage with the thick windows that was also making its way to the castle.